Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 85 of Pokemon Horizons titled Arrival, the Paradise of Laqua just dropped, and in this episode, our heroes arrive in Laqua. Are they going to find what they're looking for here? Let's talk about it. This episode has two main goals that it tries to accomplish, and it does so in two distinct halves. First, it establishes what Laqua is and what it's like, while trying to create some mystery around it. Second, it sets up the upcoming conflict, and there's a pretty sharp divide between the two halves that you can notice when watching this episode. The episode begins by following our heroes as they arrive at Laqua. Rayquaza eventually clears the clouds and the fog covering the area, revealing the whole area. There's a cute moment here where Rayquaza, tired from the effort, lays down on the mountain and then tells Roy to recall him into the Pokeball, which Roy promptly does. Now that the view is clear, it seems Laqua is located in this crater-shaped formation on top of Mount Kumari. Just like when Lucius and his crew visited, the area is teeming with abundant nature. Grass is super vibrant green, there are fruits and berries everywhere, bigger and apparently more nutritious than usual. As they go deeper, they find all the Pokemon in this area. In Laqua, there are aggressive Pokemon, cute Pokemon, rare Pokemon, and even Pokemon that are supposed to hate each other, and all of them seem relaxed and chilled out. Even the ground is warm, which is unusual for this type of elevation. Friede points out that since this mountain isn't a volcano, something else is causing this strange phenomenon. They stand around and marvel for a while at all the different Pokemon, but this isn't what they came here for. So when Terapagos points them forward, our heroes continue deeper into the jungle in Laqua. They venture further into the forest until Friede calls it a night because darkness is falling. They decide to camp in a field within the forest for the night. That evening, the three kids, Liko, Roy, Dot, reminisce about how far they've come as trainer. We get flashbacks to their journeys from the beginning of them growing with their Pokemon, and Roy talks about how the ancient Pokeball led them to all of this adventure. But Dot notices that Liko looks sad. Turns out that's because Liko's wondering if the adventure will end soon with Terapagos. Roy and Dot reassure that they don't think that'll be the case. After all, Terapagos chose her to be her partner for a reason. Liko says that whatever Terapagos decides, whether to stay in Laqua or to keep adventuring with her, she's gonna respect his wishes. But for now, she just wants to keep adventuring with everyone else. It's a sweet moment, but just as they're about to head to bed, we see that Spinel's Behemoth has teleported away, meaning that they were probably being spied on the whole time. The next morning, our heroes leave the tents they're in and take only the essentials to make walking easier. As they venture deeper into the forest, they encounter a massive rock block in their path. Friede's Cap tries to break it with Thunder Punch, and the rock slightly shatters, revealing a crystal inside. After some discussion, they realize that this is probably the shield that Terapagos made to cover the Laquium to stop it from spreading and destroying Laqua. Friede thinks that since Terapagos made the shield with Lucius as his partner, maybe he can break it with Liko as his partner. So Liko and Terapagos try it, and Terapagos transforms, using all its energy, and shatters the crystal. It then collapses, drained of energy, so to allow it to rest, Liko recalls it into her Pokeball. Friede decides to scout ahead alone to check for danger. He tells Liko, Roy, and Dot to stand by, but also says, if anything happens, think and act for yourself. That, folks, is what we call foreshadowing. As Friede leaves, what looks like a Zygarde cell to me zooms past Roy. Friede arrives at the big crystals and looks around and thinks maybe that he should go back to where the kids are, but before he can, Spinel arrives behind him. Meanwhile, where the kids were waiting, all of a sudden, Coral, Sidian, and Chalice arrive, with two separate battles looming. That is the end of the episode. Not the greatest episode, I'll admit. Even my script for this video is pretty short, but that's probably because this is a necessary setup episode for possibly the next few episodes. Still, we do get a few cool moments. Rayquaza seems to be growing more respect for Roy. We see how far our heroes have come from the start of the adventure, and yeah, that's partially just filler flashbacks to pad the episodes, but I also think it's a narrative choice to highlight that we're approaching a major climax. We even see the bond between Liko and Terapagos is so deep that Terapagos might actually stay with her after all this. All of it's pretty interesting. But to me, the most interesting part of the episode is Friede's foreshadowing. Like I mentioned earlier, him telling the kids that they can act for themselves is basically a dead giveaway that he's going to be separated from the kids for a majority of this upcoming conflict, letting them take center stage in it. I could be wrong. It could just be the show using Friede's word to acknowledge that Liko, Roy, and Dot have grown enough to be able to deal with any adversity they come across, and we shouldn't be surprised by their battle abilities moving forward. But I'm leaning towards the former. Either way, regardless of what it means, I'll be fascinated to see how the kids are going to handle a conflict like this that's way bigger than themselves, especially with only 2 Pokemon each. But what about you guys? What did you guys think about this episode? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.